If you've ever considered deepening your studies into yoga and embodiment, then I have a couple new trainings for you. Click the link in the details below to learn more. Good morning. A big part of this practice, or the big aim of this practice of yoga for me and embodiment, is to learn how to listen to ourselves, to get away from, I want to make all these shapes. I have this plan. This is the sequence I'm doing, all of this, because then that's putting us into this formula, and rather learning how to listen to what's here, and to calibrate, and to constantly calibrate to that change that's always occurring in our lives, in our bodies, on the mat. So today I woke up with some pretty challenging back pain. And I had a plan to do some vinyasa sequence that I made that I'm really excited about, and that's not going to happen. So to tend is to listen, and then to, step towards and to answer to what you hear. So in my body today, the way that I can be tender to myself and to be kind will be to move slow and sweetly. So that's how I'll be suggesting that we move today. And with these suggestions, I don't want you to also just move with the formula that I'm showing you. You can adjust this and make this yours. There's many ways to maneuver. Let's just begin in a seat. So you'll find a seat that feels comfortable for you. And palms up or palms down on the lap, your choice. And breathe into your body, and maybe the more apt thing to say is let your body be breathed. And you're always being breathed, but let's bring out some awareness to that breath that moves through your body. It's a pretty neat thing that's just happening for us. Notice where it moves and expands in the body, in the chest, in the ribs, in the belly. And we'll slowly begin to make some spinal circles. And let this be really small to begin, just beginning to put the ear down low, beginning to listen, feel what's here. And begin to go to the other side as well. So just slow listening. So maybe you have some ongoing back pain. The sequence may be good also for some cramps. Started my cycle this morning as well, so they all go together. Or just a tender morning of listening. And then let's soften the elbows and begin to drop the shoulders low, one side to the other. And the hands can go maybe in front on the ground, on the earth. And again, just slowly seeing what's here. Soft elbows, one shoulder dips. Inhale brings you center, and then the other shoulder dips on the exhale. One more cycle each time, each side. And come center. All right, let's bring the feet in front. Take the hands to the front of the knees. We'll take some cat-cow here. So you'll pull at the knees, roll the shoulders back, and really exaggerate your heart forward. Arc the spine, Open the throat, gazes up, and then exhale, round everything in, chin to the chest, and lean all the way back. So you can really exaggerate between these two shapes and move with your own breath. And just continue like this. We're always just looking for spaces and little nooks and crannies that feel good, and you lean in more there. And again, this isn't formulaic. Take what works, leave the rest. Even titling videos like yoga for back pain or yoga for. It's always been very, very challenging for me because we can meet ourselves in many different ways, and there's no secret poses for things. There's things that tend to work better. They could in certain bodies, but there's so much variation in each body, in each situation. Challenges express themselves different in each body as well. So again, just suggestions. You keep exploring. All right. Let's bring the legs in like a mermaid sit. And you can bring them over towards the right. So the knees will kind of point to the left and the feet will kind of go to the right a bit. And I'll move this. And let's take a twist to the left. So the right hand on the left knee, left hand behind. Just take a gentle twist. And there's a tendency here to want to twist as far as we can. But even if you are kind of taking a deep twist, suggestion to come back out of it after you kind of reach that edge point, come back out at least like 10, 20%. You want to stay on the soft side of the edge. And press down through the sit bones and reach all the way through the spine, back of the neck, crown of the head. And then begin to walk the hands towards the left. And we'll want to find ourselves in a belly down twist. Maybe you have a block or a bolster. And just come down part way and maybe find a sway in the spine. Getting a little spiral, a little jello-esque in the spine, which always really helps me. Some lubrication. And then maybe coming down. Finding what works for you. Maybe there's a block that meets the head or you come onto a bolster. Soft side of the edge, soft side of the edge. Maybe there's a little sway of the spine. And then find a bit of stillness here and just let your body be breathed and be aware of the inhale. And become aware of the exhale. Just gratitude for this breathing body, even with its little cranky parts asking for attention sometimes. These are just little opportunities to learn how to listen. And if you'd like to add some hums, just like an internal om almost, just some gentle on the out breath. This is really nice for the nervous system. Like little love notes for the nervous system, which also, especially if you're having some tense parts of the body, it activates the sympathetic system, which is the stress system. So like with the humming and the resonance and the slow exhales, those are signals and messages that the body's actually okay. It's okay to kind of unwind a bit, to unfurl a bit. So this can be really delicious and supportive. Longer out breaths, little sighs. One more round of breath. All right, and slowly coming up. Turning towards center and just staying for a full round of breath. And then we'll extend the right leg out into like a wide janu sirsasana here. maybe spiral of the spine. And this is one of my favorite positions here. And again, block or bolster. I'm just going to pop a pillow right on top here. Reach up and let's get really long on each side body. So like you're grabbing onto a rope. Remember those pull-up ropes in gym? Oh, you try to pull yourself up long on lateral side bodies. And then with that length, glide yourself over towards the right. You can still think about making space between the ribs and the hips on both sides and then reaching over towards the right. I like to put the elbow down and then put my head in my hand. And then find a place where you can stay for a bit here. So I'm kind of rocking my pelvis just to like a cat makes its perfect little bed, doing the same thing, kind of wiggling my booty in, figuring out where I want to stay. And some options with the arms. I have one on my hip right now. You can also take it up overhead, but if you do that, just let it relax like a wet noodle. Another option is you can take it behind the back and maybe even grab for the inside of the right thigh, your choice. But I would suggest exploring what it's like to lean back in the shoulders. There's a slight spiraling of the rib cage around the spine and a gazing up. I need a little bit more support, so I'll do like this. Find your way. Find your space. And maybe you can bring in this visualization of some malleability on the left side body. I tend to think of Laffy Taffy, if you remember Laffy Taffy. I used to love it when I was young. And if it was cold, it's so hard. But as it would warm up, it just begins to be flexible, begins to be like tempered, more movable, sometimes too movable a point. I definitely had a few instances as a child of letting the Laffy Taffy completely melt on things that it shouldn't have melted on, like Dad's truck. But anyway, as if the breath could slowly warm up the stiffness, or you could also visualize like a cube of ice slowly melting. Maybe even anchoring down through the left sit bone just a little bit more. And from that place, from that left sit bone, imagining this band of muscles just slowly softening. And one more big inhale. And exhale. Slowly come up. Take a moment letting the sand settle. And then bringing the feet out front. Again, hands over the knees. Take a couple cat-cows here. Really exaggerate it. And pull yourself through the knees. Round the back. Really feeling what you feel here. The little sensations as the muscles awaken. And let's switch sides. So the knees go over to the right and the legs to the left. Any props you want to use, and you don't need to, but over to the right now, to the right hip. And then take a gentle twist, left hand to the knee, right hand behind. And again, not as far as you can go. Maybe about 70%. Bringing awareness to points of contact with the earth, where the sit bone is rooting down, where the right fingers are rooting down. And then from that place of connection there, you can sprout up through spine, sprout up with an inhale through the back of the neck and the crown of the head. And then slowly begin to come towards the right. And you can take a moment, just bring the hands out, begin to sway the spine, see what's here, nonlinear movement. Just a little organic explore. And then at your own time, in your own way, you'll find somewhere to rest down. And you don't have to go far down at all. And it doesn't have to be the same as on the other side. That's a myth. Find your way. I believe that it's David White that says that the work is to learn how to lay down low and listen and be willing to be changed by what we hear. And I think that that is such a vital component, that last line, that we must be willing to be changed by what we hear. I know that I've been in many situations where I can listen, where I know I'm like, oh yeah, okay, listening, but yet not being willing to let it affect me or to shift. Learning to listen is a process anyway, eh? We get to practice right here. Practicing the little nuances on the different sides of the body. Practice listening to the subtles and not so subtle ways in which the body changes all the time. Two more rounds of breath here. Big inhale, find space. And then exhale, let it go. One more like that. Big inhale. Inside out. Hands find earth, press down and let yourself rise up. Come to center. Full round of breath, letting the sand settle here. And then left leg comes out to wide, janu sirsasana. You can take any props you have to the other side. And then again for a moment, climb up that rope that maybe you never got to the top to. Pull-ups were always so hard for me, but you can get to the top here. And then with length, you'll take it over to the left. Oh, this is so good. Feels good in my body. Maybe it does in yours, maybe not. Oh. And then again, maybe there's a visualization that's supportive for you. Maybe you grasp a hold of the Laffy Taffy metaphor, or possibly the ice melting into water works better. But what can help is, rooting through the right sit bone, and then from that space, imagining the length and something softening. Maybe you can find just one little space that can soften just a smidge, just a couple percentage, possibly the jaw or the shoulders. Maybe you're even gripping at the toes, just some place, a couple places where you can unravel. One more full round of breath. And slowly, lifting up. Let's bring the feet back in front. And this time we'll take an altar pose. So hands can plant, shoulders roll back, bring the heart towards the knees, soften the elbows, and then push down and lift up. So feet, hands pressing down at the same time. Maybe you rock back and forth, side to side. And then bring the hips down, and we'll do that once more. You can kind of re-engage here. Roll the shoulders back, heart forward. Hands plant, feet plant, lift up, altar pose. And release it down. And take one forward fold to close it up. And just begin to walk the hands forward. Maybe the elbows come down. Maybe the head comes to a block, or maybe the head comes into the hands and gently rest down. As if you could reach back with your sit bones, like you could just toss a few tendrils of roots out the sit bones. And reaching back, feeling securely tethered as you fold forward and soften. Just for about 3 full slow rounds of breath. Maybe there's like a 6 count. Inhale. And a 6 count exhale. Slow, steady. Tending to this sweet, ever shifting, sometimes spacious, sometimes cranky, breathing body. One more big inhale. Side out. And slowly walk yourself back up. Place your hands somewhere on you. Maybe hand to heart, hand to belly, maybe hands on the knees, just making connection. One big hum to close, feel the vibration in the system, in your vessel, your home. Inhale. Hum it out. Thank you for your time, for your breath, for your practice. I hope that you found a little bit more ease and a little bit more spaciousness. I will see you next time on your mat. Thanks. If you'd like to explore with one of my longer classes from my online membership, then click the link below and I'll send you one right over. We'll have a little bit more space to move and breathe together.